Hey everyone, today's April 29th. I'm Gene and you're hanging with Uncle. I hope everyone is doing well today. Congratulations to Mark Carney, the new Canadian Prime Minister, and a win for liberals across the world. And I know Cadet Bone Spurs, our coward-in-chief, does not like that because now that means Canada will be pushing back on tariffs and just continuing to ruin Cadet Bone Spurs Day. And I like it. And it was a big sweeping win for Liberals all across Canada, with the exception of Ottawa. But, I don't care. Liberals won. So today, I want to talk about fascism. And I know the title says arresting judges, but that is in the fascist playbook. Because if we look historically, back at Nazi Germany in the 1930s, the only judges who were not removed, fired, assassinated, were ones loyal to Hitler. So in today's terms, you would say that would be people like Roberts, Alito, Clarence Thomas, Eileen Cannon. Those are the kinds of people. Look at Pam Bondi. I know she's not a judge, but she's the attorney general. She's the top, prosecutor in the country. And so that's what we're dealing with. So the first judge to be arrested was Judge Hanna. And Judge Hanna was arrested for obstruction of justice in Wisconsin. And that justice she obstructed, or at least allegedly had obstructed, was helping a migrant legally in the United States avoid deportation, which if they're there legally, they shouldn't be deported, right? So, but that's how authoritarians work. So now we are arresting judges here in the United States for defying our non-king, non-dictator, only an elected president. But now, again, remember, as we talked about before, judges are in a co-equal branch of government. Judges are the ones to decide if a law is constitutional or not. So if someone is trying to be unconstitutionally deported, it is the judge's responsibility to step in and say, no, we can't do that. But now under this regime, and out of the fascist playbook, anyone who doesn't agree with the coward-in-chief is getting arrested. Okay, that's what authoritarianism looks like. But Judge Hanna is not the only one, because retired Judge Cano, I think that's how you pronounce it, C-A-N-O, out of New Mexico, was arrested for basically the same thing. He was allegedly supposed to have undocumented workers at his house, and now they want to, did arrest him for it. And they have him for destruction of evidence because they're accusing him of destroying a burner phone. Now, that just doesn't make sense to me. Because in order to make an arrest, you have to get a warrant signed by a real judge, not a complicit toady, all right, an apparatchik judge. And there has to be probable cause. And without probable cause, no warrant can be issued. So when the FBI, led by, convicted felon Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, start, spinning their webs, arresting judges as a result of that. And this is 2 now. So are judges supposed to now be afraid to exercise their constitutional responsibility as a co-equal branch of government because the executive branch does not dictate nor govern to the judicial branch. That's not how it works under our Constitution. So when we see these kinds of practices right before our eyes, that should be a warning to everyone that we are transitioning from a democracy to a fascist dictatorship. And if you think that's not the case, you're fooling yourself. History doesn't lie, and America, don't forget, next year we have elections. We can change the face of the House and Senate and have a checks and balance from a co-equal branch of government and put an end to this authoritarian fascist type rule. This is America, not 1930s Hitler-run Germany. So what are your thoughts? Please leave them in the comments section below. If you like this kind of information, please hit that subscribe button. Share this with all of your friends and people that need to hear this. That, we always say, if you were, had the chance to stand up to Hitler, would you? Well, now we have that opportunity with the coward in chief in office. So hit that like button, leave a comment section, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe and keep resisting. I'm Gene.